Good morning.
I understand. Good morning. I understand.
Hope everyone's doing well. Like we have a pretty full agenda today, so we need to go ahead and get started. I'd like to go ahead and begin with the word of prayer. Please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for everyone here assembled today to do the work of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we want to be ever prayerful and mindful of those that have lost their lives for the recent violence. Dear Lord, please give us the tools necessary to work together through all municipalities and the county government to stop this needed violence. Dear Lord, we ask that You bless these proceedings. Make sure that we do things in Thy will and for Thy good. Dear Lord, keep us guided and protect us. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Let's start off with Commissioner Tyson's because he just walked in the door and I didn't want to get you to go. We'll go. All right, well, let's just go down to that.
All right, Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. We have no items on the Board of Equalization. We have a total of 4 items that are under Environmental Services. Are there any questions that anyone would like to ask? I know that David is out. Would that be you, Cal?
Daniel's here.
I'm sorry, any questions regarding items 1 through? I heard a motion to move. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Under General Retirement Services, no items, none under Human Resources, none under Compliance. We have a total of 4 items under the Personnel Board.
Items 1 through 4.
All right. Been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
That brings us to my report, Mr. President.
Mr. Todd.
Good morning,
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
Community Development and Health Services Committee. I will skip all the way down to Development and Community Service, Dr. Hamilton.
Good morning, Commissioners. We just had 3 hours this morning. The first one being turnkey heating and air agreement. This is for our housing rehab program. This would be for $250,000 and paid for out of our CDBG funds. Number 2, with Bridge Ministries for the ERAP program of modification to extend the agreement to October 1, 2024. There's no cost associated with this amendment. And number 3 is J.D. Morris Construction Company with the city of Parent Storm Shelter to enter into an agreement in the amount of $456,744.
Move 1 through 3.
Second.
Can I ask the voice about the storm shelter? This is a new one?
Yes, it's a general fund storm.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. That's the one that we had talked about way back when. Yeah. And it's coming through the line.
Okay.
When you gonna finish?
Well, you all know that they found a swimming pool under the ground, so he'll be starting as soon as this thing is done, probably about 2 months.
They didn't
Okay.
notice, they didn't know that when they picked that site, they don't put in one of those monitors
Well,
on the
that's how
ground.
they got it.
And so they picked that spot without doing that.
Well, the city recommended that part.
Okay.
The institutional knowledge had left them from when the swimming pool was there. You know, we only get 4 years.
They don't get, they are not getting a tube, are they?
They are.
Yes.
They're getting a tube.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we gotta move in a second to carry the vote.
I think.
Okay, I'll get a motion, please.
Night
He
movie.
moved it.
And then
A second, okay, I have a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I will go all the way to family court.
I moved that. Electronic monitoring.
Second.
Have a first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have,
Move 2 grants.
all right.
Second.
Have a person second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, this is the end of District 2 report.
We have administrative and infrastructure committee, we have roads and trams. We have several items. Do you want, anything you want to do, Chris? If you don't do it fast enough, I'll come in there and help.
All right. I'll be expedient. Item number one is a IGA with the city of Hueytown. We're doing a project with a joint project with them that just allows us to work in their city. Item two is IGA with the city of Pinson. They're requesting some paving because we're paving some other roads out there. That allows us to work in their city. They're also paying for that, $75,000. Item three is a funding agreement for reimbursable utility for Lakeshore project. Item four is our construction project at Highway 31 and Columbiana Road. Item 5 and 6 are engineering services agreement for the Deerfoot Parkway project and the Tarrant Huffman Road project. 7 is a geotech contract for the animal control facility with Terracon. Item 8 is a transformer that Allen Power is now requiring us to own the transformer for the site. That's just a conveyance of that piece of infrastructure. And then items 9 and 10 are right away. And 11 is a stormwater agreement with the Grace Life Baptist Church to maintain, for them to maintain their detention pond.
I move 1 to 11.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County attorney has a minute from August the 29th. We have county manager and Tenth Care Authority Board reappointments. Can we get those approved?
I'll move 1 and 1.
Second. Second.
Oh, harder than I thought.
Commissioner Tyson and the county manager. Reappointed.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County manager, we talked about that. District 3, we have other business. I have,
Move items 1
I have a
through
bunch.
10.
and then I have 2 items of new business to include in that.
I'll amend my motion to include the 2 items of new business for
We
unanimous
got
consent.
a lot of new business, I think.
Oh, do you?
to
So you want to
consider,
just do 1 through 10 and then come back
That aye?
and do that motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so move items 1 through 10.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Looks like that's it.
You want to do Mike first, and then do me?
We can. Mr. Bowles.
Okay, all right, now I've got it together. On information technology, we've got a couple matters, and we've got somebody here to address that.
Yeah, the contract we signed last week, that we pushed through last week, the contract was approved.
He's picking up a new item of business.
Yeah.
Well, the new item of business needs to go separately.
Yeah, okay.
All right, sorry. New item.
Steve's out.
Oops.
Yeah, Ryan's about it. Ryan, sorry.
The other items is Birmingham 911 and the GIS consortium.
Is that the other, the new item?
No, this is the one that's.
Isn't there a cost sharing agreement?
Cost sharing agreement, that's right. It's actually a revenue of $100,000 to us.
Right, way to go, good deal.
This is the number. It's actually.
Joe, is all your new business financial?
Is this the only new business we got from?
Only, he has 1 and I have 2.
I know, I was looking for him. Well, because you gave them to me, doesn't mean I got them.
Got that right.
You okay?
Huh?
You all right?
No.
I drop mine in the hallway.
But yeah,
Yeah, all right, so
They was in the hallway on the.
I'd like to go ahead and offer 3 items of new business that are not related to, there are 2 community grants and 1 item of new IT business to be voted on. That will require unanimous consent. Do I have a motion?
Move for
those
unanimous
3
consent
items?
for
Second.
the 3 new items of business.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition, meaning. Have a second. We'll remove these items.
Move the items.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now it's all yours, Joe.
all right. Did you put yours in that one?
I did.
Okay, so that one's gone. All right.
It was 2 community grants.
Right. Okay.
School.
You took care of all the new
All
business?
3, all of them. He's got, everything else is gonna be his.
I did it collectively.
All right. Finance,
We do, before you go, could I?
yeah,
I think we do need to vote on the one that's on the
You do.
agenda.
We hadn't voted on that.
We hadn't done any of yours.
You right.
And
Yeah.
you have or haven't voted?
You have not.
We did 1 item of new business.
Okay. You voted on my item from new business. Yes.
Do your report.
Now you do your regular report.
all right.
Now you-
So we gonna go back to Joe or so?
No,
No, no.
just go you and then we'll
And
finish.
excuse me, that may, we probably got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Everything, he's got several items of new business,
Well,
but all of them deal with finance. And so we didn't want to put 1 IT item in with that, so it just made sense to go ahead and get that in.
Okay. All right, we got one on the agenda and we need a vote on it.
Yep.
And it is, from IT.
Is this the?
Move it.
Jazz?
Hi,
The
Commissioners.
ECD.
This is Antonio Crespo.
Someone else
Yeah,
is
it is.
talking.
As Al mentioned, this is similar to the last meeting. We had 10 contracts related to our GIS consortium to help them with cost sharing for our orthophotography and other services. So we have a couple pending contracts. So this one is for Birmingham 911, for them to kind of join in the same consortium agreement. And then we're still working with Birmingham, the city itself, so we'll have another contract in the future once they get us their signed contract.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, being a motion and a second, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay.
Mr. President, I've got,
Several items.
I move items 1 through 16.
And I second.
all right, there being a motion on items 1 through 16 in other business, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I think that'll take care of me. Commissioner. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let me just do these 2. I got them. Thank you. Sorry. Let me do these 2 items of new business. They're grants. One is,
When in Galilee.
God love her. One is for Jefferson County Counseling and Learning Center for $2,261, and the other is for Jefferson County Soil and Water for $5,000 grant.
Move items 1 and 2.
For consideration of new
Move.
Well, we gotta do
business.
this. So we gotta-
2 items you did.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Now ask for a vote for
I
the.
moved the
Move.
2 items.
Okay, second.
Thank you. All right, now all that's out of the way. Thank you, Commissioner. Sorry.
You want
It
to
was
say-
here, it just wasn't here.
Doesn't
All
need
right.
to carry the vote.
Finance.
Secretary. He needs to carry the vote.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have item number 1 is IBML Document Imaging Services. This is an amendment due to.
Hold on, Mr. President.
on.
He needs to carry the vote from this last item.
We just did.
You did, honey, you did. You
It's
had
all
moved
in
in a
favor,
second.
say aye.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
For the 2 items of new business of 2261 and 5,000.
Aye.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 1 is IBML Document Imaging Services. This is a contract increase due to labor costs. Item number 2 through 8 are our normal items, our unusual demand report, encumbrance report, purchasing agenda report, and purchasing exception report. Do we have any questions on any of those items?
Do I have a motion on 1 through 8?
Move items 1 through 8, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Under Budget Management Office, we have recently completed hearings. We have vetted the department requests, and we are proposing these budget resolutions for the 2025 budget. Highlights for the budget include $10 million for economic development, $2 million for tornado shelters, $2 million for paving, $1.9 million for commission support, $1.7 million for district funds, $1.1 million for family court imaging project, $500,000 for implementation of a sewer assistance program, $500,000 for a litter pickup program, a 3% COLA, $995,000 for DA pay increases to attract and retain staff. No increase in benefits to employees, so those were absorbed by the county, and it includes 13 paid holidays and 1 variable day. Capital highlights include $450,000 for an enhanced permitting software, funding for the completion of the coroner's building, funding for the completion of the animal shelter, vehicle replacements throughout the county, multiple road projects, and multiple sewer projects throughout the county. These resolutions, the first one is the transfer for the year-end for 2024, 2025 transfers to support the budget. I've highlighted the items that are included in the operating and capital budget. Item number 4 is the 3% COLA. Item number 5 is the vehicle uses by department. Item number 6 is the fleet department equipment shop charges. Item number 7 is the health department budget for the Jefferson County Board of Health. And item number 8 is the holiday schedule.
I have a question about the holiday schedule.
Yes, sir.
Normally, that goes to the commission president's office, and I did not see that this time. Are there any changes between this year and last year?
No, sir.
No additional days at all?
I would like to add a day, if we can, to the holiday schedule. It would please the commission. A variable day. For the 2024-2025 budget year.
We don't object to that. I don't know if the president does, but.
And I'm sorry, I'm gonna probably be the lone wolf on that.
Okay.
How much will that variable
He can
day
get phone
cost?
number 3%.
So the salaries are already
Listen,
included.
no, it's not the salaries included, it costs everyone for a day of productivity on that, and it's, how much will that cost?
It's already budgeted in the salary cost. Of course, there is a productivity piece, but that's every day, sir. So,
You don't know.
It's not a large amount of money, even with them not getting a 5% raise, they only getting a what,
3% COLA.
3% COLA. I think that'll balance it out.
The variable is, it's a one-time, sometimes people use them, sometimes people don't, so it's not a necessity that everybody remembers to take the variable day, and it does not roll over.
Right.
All right,
It would be an addition for this coming budget year.
Yeah.
I understand. Those people that are on wages.
That are on what?
On hourly wages, everybody's not on salary.
Right.
Do you know how much that costs? What about the sheriff's department? What will we do with the sheriff?
I mean, I can get a payroll to run a report of the cost that, if, I don't know if it outlines it that way, but we will work with payroll to see if they can run a report for us.
This was something that had started, maybe 12, 15 years ago that we were talking about an additional variable day, and the commission researched it, and it was gonna cost at that time, almost $700,000 cost to the city. As we as commissioners, we need to be ever prayerful and mindful that these are taxpayer dollars. And if we have additional funds available, I would love to see those put as a force multiplier to buy more surveillance cameras for Jefferson County. I'm putting everything that I can into that, and that $600,000 or $700,000 or $800,000 will buy a lot of cameras for the citizens of Jefferson County and make this a better place. That is a force multiplier. City of Bessemer, I have given all of my additional monies that I had this time
I did.
to put additional cameras in that area. And I was on the phone with the police chief and with the sheriff's department this morning. With the sheriff's department, to try to get more cameras out because we're short on people. And we need those eyes that are there, and it doesn't cost. It's very good use of our taxpayer dollars to do that. That was my intention, and that, I understand, but that does cost. And if we do have that money available, I'd like to put it into public safety.
We don't have enough to do both?
We don't have enough for both of them.
Do we have enough for both?
Do what?
Do we have enough for both, to do both?
Well,
Because I was the first
the
one
budget is the
invested
budget.
in the
The budget
county.
is the budget.
Right.
Now, if you're measuring an extra variable day in cost of productivity, it doesn't increase the funding for what Commissioner's talking about. The budget is the budget. This would just add an extra day to our employees who work hard to make us have the ability to have a pretty good year in spite of everything. Now, next year is a different story. We don't know. And we've given a 3% COLA. So that's next year, that elevates it to $6.5 million. We had to give the sheriffs a raise of 10%. That was $3.8 million. So we've got next year, got an increase of about 10 million, just based on what we've done. But, again, I think the productivity in the county has been good by the employees, and that's why I'm making a recommendation to add a variable day.
And I'm all for that. I truly believe that. I'm asking, would the money, would it be enough to buy the cameras? Do we know how many cameras we actually need?
Now,
Would it be-
if we're gonna buy cameras, then we would have to increase the budget.
Right.
Okay. Or use some grant funds from the districts to do something like that, which we could certainly have to do because we.
Well, I did. I was the first one did, so.
Yeah. I mean, those are a good idea, that's,
So,
because we've done flocks before, and we've done,
We've done them, and, we're continuing to do those in our districts, but
and they work.
you understand that just because that money is there, for the budget, it's either expended by people staying home, or it's expended by people being at work. And when they're at work, they earn wages. And when they are home, if we give them a variable day for that, they're still gonna earn those wages. So, like I said, I was gonna probably be in the minority here. But I think that if we're, and I appreciate everything that our employees do, I really do. But,
let me ask this question, Ms. Dixon, or maybe the UCAB. Do we have any ARPA money left for infrastructure projects?
ARPA money.
ARPA money, I'm not sure if the cameras would be eligible for that or not, I'd have to check.
Yeah, I think you had specific designations for the remainder of those dollars.
Yeah, it's all there.
How many cameras are we talking about?
well, whatever they this budget amount would be where you would be.
And what part of Jefferson?
Whatever that cost would be. It's an either or situation.
What
It's-
part of
You know,
Jefferson?
I've made what I said I was going to do as far as working for the safety of Jefferson County.
Let's see.
And if indeed we were attempting to add something to it, to our budget, it should not be in a variable day, it should be in something that would apply to the safety of all the citizens of Jefferson County. And that's the only point that I want to make. That's our responsibility as commissioners to do that. And like I said, that wasn't going to be a popular position here. But I think that it will be for the citizens of Jefferson County. And now, y'all, now you go ahead and vote on, do whatever you were going to vote on, so I'm fine.
Let me ask this question, Mr. President, because, yeah, it's not tough for me, but some things I just, I don't understand. And
It may be that I don't.
Well,
But what I did, I tried to articulate, what I felt we needed to do. If indeed that instead of a variable day, that money should be applied to public safety within Jefferson County, within all municipalities. And if it costs, and I think that back when Commissioner Carrington was here, and it had to be someone that's been here a good while, I think that it was $680,000 it cost us for a day to operate the county. That's been a long, long time ago. And I can't see that changing, going down any. So if we took $500,000 and put it on block cameras or cameras throughout the municipality and put more eyes in the streets where we don't have enough police and sheriffs to do it. I just think that that's something that we need to do. And as a commissioner, that's what
All right,
I would vote for this.
where are you talking about putting them, I guess, would be my next question.
I'm talking about throughout, everywhere that the police say they need, all the hot spots. I approved four for my district, right? Because there was a hot spot, and it came out of my district funds.
And I've done that too.
yeah, I've done about 25 of them, that's why.
I did about 75.
And we have the funds to continue to do that. I've just spent a year with the ACCA as the president, and workforce has been a big subject. And that's not only recruiting, but retention of good employees. And I think we've got a pretty good crew of employees, and I would like to reward them some way. That was the reason for this. I would love to give them a 7% COLA or a 10% COLA, but the economy, the economics of it just does not fit that desire. So we're gonna do it at a 3%. But
Let me ask
I
this question,
think
Mr.
too,
Chair.
something that you gotta take care of your employees, and I think this is a way to help do that.
Let me ask this question, Ms. Dixon. So, where were we last year as it relates to COLA? Where were we at? Are we sure on that?
Yes.
3.5%.
Yeah, because I thought we were 3.5 last year, so
Well,
now.
my-
well, I
my
This
think
is
we
at
said-
3% this year, 3.5 last year, and also, right.
In 21, it was 3, 22, 5, 23, 3, 24, 3.5, is that what you're saying?
So I want to be clear, so let me ask this. you deal with the numbers, I don't. So you were 3.5 last year, you're looking at 3% this year. What is the savings of the 5% reduction? What, I mean, in terms of, what is the amount on that?
3% COLA is 6.5 million to the
No,
budget.
I get it, but if it was 3.5% last year, right? And we're at 3% this year, give me the difference in what that looks like in terms of the amount of money. Am I not articulating myself well?
Yeah, the dollars may be different because there were different payroll costs, but,
Okay, can you give us an
Hang on,
approximate
hang on.
number?
No, I will in just a second. Here you go.
Yes, sir.
A little over $1 million.
you got different.
Is that what that is?
$1,083,000.
Everybody got three different.
No, that's 758,000 is what I get. No, you're right. It's a million. It's a little over $1 million.
7.5 million as opposed to 6.5.
So that's where my thoughts are is, you know, you got a 0.5 that's, you're cutting over $1 million. I'm gonna have to get, I need some more understanding as to what are we having an issue with. I'm trying to figure that out, because if that, what did you give me, the number is 1 point what? I'm saying if you, difference between last year and this year is 1 million what?
About it.
$1,083,000.
Okay, $1,083,000. Okay, what do we do with that money? Where is that reappropriated at in the budget?
The allocations may vary depending on the request of the departments. We also still had the 30% reduction in the vacancy, so our budget in comparison to last year did decrease by $3.3 million. So the budget, the total budget last year was over $1 billion. We're under $1 billion this year, so we do have some savings. Also, it should be noted that the Personnel Board does give their staff 2 variable holidays. And these are taken at different times by different employees. So in my department, and I know a lot of departments, we have coverage. So some of those productivity issues will be reduced because you have somebody to cover those areas.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I won't even say it's a struggle, but I'm gonna tell you, I have a lot of requests that go to staff all the time, and they've been Johnny on the spot, and it's, that's, yeah. Unless I can be shown where that this is gonna make a difference. I still believe that there should be some funding for cameras if that is the desire. I'm just trying to figure out, isn't there a category that we can pull from? I'm asking you, Ms. Dixon.
These are estimates. We still need to close the year out. If we have some additional revenue over the actual amounts, we should be able to do some additional funding in the capital or how the commission desires. So there's still maybe an opportunity.
So do you have any unexpended items that maybe we appropriated dollars for that obviously were not realized? That maybe a cost overrun, or there's some things that's out there that's not gonna materialize and manifest by September 30?
It's hard to say now because we do have a lot of spending in these last 2 months. But I do believe we may know something probably by November-ish to see if there's some additional revenue that we did not, that we collected more revenue than we had anticipated. So there may be some opportunities. But it's hard to project the expenses because we do have a lot of spending these last few months.
And each year, at the end of the year, we've also been funding those
Reserves.
reserve funds, those three. And we've got them to a point now to where we probably won't have to add additional funds because they're getting to our mark. And with the interest, they should be hitting those marks this year for most of them, for the 2 out of the 3. And then, so that's just another possibility.
Do we want to, I mean, we do have funding for the landfill deficit if we wanted to reduce that by the 700,000 so that we can have the variable and the cameras. We can probably reallocate that if that's what the commission would want to do. Because in this budget proposal, I think there's a $7 million that we're allocating to the deficit that we've been had in landfill. So we would still be working towards the deficit, but we wouldn't be able to cover the whole deficit in this proposal, if that's something that you all want to consider.
What is a camera cost?
$500,000 value, 114 cameras. The $4,400 fee for the new ones that goes up on the total. And that's what our law enforcement is really gonna lean on, because they haven't been able to recruit the right enough people to get it done, get on the street. And most of the crimes that have been done now, they've been utilizing these cameras to get it done, am I right?
That's correct, Commissioner. I will say.
And it's not just the sheriff,
Right, it's
it's
not
all the municipalities in the entire county.
I did want to pass along, the recruiting has picked up a good bit. We have 14 in the current class. We had 16, it's down to 14. They shoot next week, so pray for them. But we've already had over 20 for the next class that starts in January. So we're trying to get 30 in that class.
And we increased a salary for them. We're building the barracks for them.
That's right.
We've got plans to do something with an evidence room for the sheriff.
Absolutely.
Plus the sheriff's got an extra capital expense. So sheriff, we're in pretty good shape. And now,
Those cameras can be rotated too, because if the crime go down in the area, they can take them and move them somewhere else.
That's right.
Because they have had to move mine.
Yeah, and they're using them for hot spots.
Yeah.
And they're a good tool that we have. And like I said, I'm where I'm at.
well, how many do we need, Wayne, just for the sheriff's department? Do you have any idea?
I don't have a good idea, Commissioner. I can let y'all know about Thursday, though.
Yeah, and the key on it, now I'm talking about myself, okay? You just can't use the sheriff. This needs to go throughout Jefferson County. Because if we just do the sheriff, that'll take care of a couple of us, but it's gonna leave
It's gonna happen.
some voids out there, and that's where your crime will be. This needs to be that metro area where everyone
You saying
puts their
max
feet
size?
under, everybody puts their feet under the same table and they decide where these are gonna go. Because the more comprehensive we are on these criminals are gonna be criminals. That's their job. But they don't have to do their job in Jefferson County. And the way we can do this, if we work together with our police departments and our sheriff's department, and make it a hard place to do business for the criminals.
And to make clear,
They'll go somewhere else.
all the cameras would feed into the Metro Area Crime Center, which is housed at the sheriff's office. So, yeah, that's correct.
Well, I'm certainly willing to, I haven't had any requests for cameras lately. Now, when they have requested them, we've got funds in our community grants, allocation for the commissioners to do that. I'll be certainly happy to do it. So I'm not, I mean, I don't have any objection to providing more cameras, but, you know, where, how many, who wants them, where they're gonna go, that's an idea too. I think we could find the funds to support something like that through whatever is left over, if not from our community grants, from whatever other sources we find. I'm just trying to keep our employees here, working, doing a great job, and that's just where I stand on this. So that's the reason I made the motion. So, all right. Any further discussion? Do we have a motion on items 1 through 8? Or let's do 1 through 7. Do I have any, do I have a motion on 1 through 7?
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, now, item 8, holiday schedule. I move for the motion would be a resolution of approving the fiscal year holiday schedule plus adding 1 variable day. Do I have a motion on that?
The holiday schedule, that, I don't have a copy of that.
I really would like to know what's that. All of the sheriff, how do you handle your holiday? You pay them? You pay them?
Yeah, I mean, well, sheriff's office gonna be open 24/7, 365.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I've got a correction to make. Let's go back to item 1 through 7. On item 2, I think there may be a typo, but I'll help me on that, at least. All right, now, item 4, it needs to read resolution authorizing approval of fiscal year 2024, 2025 salary adjustments, and that needs to be amended to include those appointed by the county. They're not included.
Not in the resolution.
Not in the resolution. Why wouldn't they be?
Number 4 says those appointed by the county manager or the county commission, and their appointees that are appointed by the county attorney.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, we had this all worked out, but obviously we don't. All right.
Which part is not working?
Huh?
Which part is not working?
If you just add it, it says those employees appointed by the county manager, county
So we need
commission.
to-
Should also add those appointed.
We did amend item 4.
So we need to withdraw the motion.
Yeah.
All right,
So
I didn't make the motion, so
We-
it needs to be withdrawn.
withdraw the motion of items 1 through 7.
All right, can I make a motion to withdraw items 1 through 7?
Have a motion? Have a second? I'll second.
Yes, second.
All right. All right, now, let's go back. Items 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 has an amendment to include those appointed by the county attorney for the COLA.
Move the item as amended.
And 5, 6, and 7. There's no changes on those. So you're moving 1 through 7 with the amendment to 4.
Correct.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Item 8, holiday schedule. Fiscal year holiday schedule as printed, plus adding 1 variable day. Do I have a motion? All right. So item 8 fails for a second for the amendment. So item 8,
I moved the original.
have a motion? Okay, there's no holidays for the employees.
I want a holiday for the employees. I mean, I'm, you know, I understand the fight for another day, but I'm, yeah.
Okay, well, we kind of had an impasse.
I'll move for another day.
All right. Let's try this again. Item 8, resolution authorizing approval of fiscal year 2024, 2025 holiday schedule with one additional variable day for the employees. Do I have a motion?
Move the item.
Have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm gonna abstain.
Abstain?
I'm sorry.
2 abstains. All right. Motion passes. All right. Ms. Dixon, you want to continue now?
Sure. We have our multiple staff development, individual staff development, and information travel items. Are there any questions on any of those items?
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion on the multiple staff development?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right. Developmental services.
Did we just do?
So good morning, Commissioners. I need to remove items 1 and 2, demolition liens. We've got those, they'll be coming at a later date, along with some other liens.
Are we just pulling them for now and reposting them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. D-24-0034.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a compliance case request. This is an older gas station that's out on Alliance Road out close to the river. As you can see, the gas station's been in operation for several years. I believe it was first constructed in the early 1960s. At the time it was constructed, all sales of alcoholic beverages went into one zoning district, and that was the C3 zoning district. So it still retains the C3. Since then, the zoning regulations have changed, and convenience stores that have sales of alcoholic beverages as well as restaurants are allowed in C1 district, and C3 is basically excluded only for like lounges, pool halls, that sort of thing. And so this is to bring the gas station property into compliance. If you'll recall, a few months ago, they did have a beverage case license just for renewal. It's just on-premise beer, or sorry, off-premise beer, but the commission did renew that. Or did vote to approve. So again, it's just a compliance case, pointing that job. Planning and zoning commission recommended approval.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Z-24-0037.
Yes, similar to the last case, this is also a compliance case. This is a church property. Again, the church was constructed at a time, I think it even predates when we began county zoning, if I'm not mistaken. Retains its agricultural zoning. They come to us for permits to do some expansions. And so at that point in time, they began the compliance case for rezoning as well, the institutional one. It's out on Mount Olive Road. Again, planning and zoning commission recommended approval.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move that.
Second. Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. B, beverage.
Yes, sir. This is a request for a new license for a Dollar General facility that is out on Mount Olive Road. Out on Mount Olive Road. The building is up, and I believe it's even operating and open to the public. Again, this is just a request to add beer and wine sales for off-premise consumption to their list of inventory and to allow this sort of sales. In this particular area, within 500 feet, there is a church that's within the radius, as well as a cemetery and a sheriff's substation and a fire station directly across the street. There is alcohol sales about 900 feet to the north at the corner of Mount Olive Road, and I believe it's Swan Drive. I could be mistaken on that. And then also along Mount Olive Road to the south and east, there's several convenience stores as well that have off-premise sales. We did send out public notices. I haven't heard a reply from any property.
So no one from the church is sitting.
Not to this date, sir. No, sir. Or not to my knowledge.
Do I have a motion? Move it to the agenda.
I'll move it to the agenda.
All right.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
General services, Wilkin.
Can you have one more? Can you have one more?
I don't mind.
I see a number 5.
That's one we just
Was that
did.
005?
That's one we just did.
Okay.
Yeah. You have another one?
This one, Michael?
No.
Oh, that's all.
Get 3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5.
We did those. All right, general services. Ms. Wilkin, are you on?
Good Commissioners, General Services has 3 items on the agenda this morning. The first item is for the new Jefferson County Animal Care and Control Facility. The second item is Gory Reagan, the Parking Revenue Control Equipment Service and Maintenance Agreement. And the final item is the Birmingham Water Works Board irrigation water tap for the Coroner Medical Examiner's Office.
Do I have a motion on 1 through 3 on number of the BWW irritation? Whatever.
They
Do I have a motion on 1
they
through
are
3?
very irritating.
Thank
Have a
you.
motion? Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor, please say aye.
I mean, that irrigation, that sounds.
Yeah. All right. District 4, report.
Items 1 through 3.
Have a motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Includes my report.
All right, announcement or so, tomorrow begins absentee voting in Jefferson County. There have been something like 4,000 applications already presented, which that's, how much? 4,200. And that really jumps a little bit ahead of COVID, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, probably.
So that's, there's a lot of interest in this election. So, y'all remember to get out and vote and support your candidate. Anything from the county attorney?
County continues to be legally sound.
I would say something about the hard work that you did on the consent decree. And I would pat myself on the back if I were you. And, that's it. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, please.
This is
Expound upon it.
Certainly, the county was recently released from its environmental consent decree. It's several decades old, but we've been working on this since about last year. All parties agreed that we should be released, and after some work with the Cahaba River Society, and thanks to Cal and David Dett and their hard work and the support that you all have given, we are found to meet the terms of the consent decree. So after many decades, the county has now been released, and that is our final consent decree, federal consent decree that the county has been belabored with, if you will.
So you can go back to 2010 when Commissioner Knight and myself were elected. We had a long list of items that needed to be done. And this is the last item that we needed to check on. Jefferson County has been fiscally responsible. They worked on behalf of their constituents, and there has not been a hint of impropriety or mismanagement since 2010. So, Commissioner Knight, good job.
A lot of consternation in
A
those
lot of
years.
a lot of hard work was
We
involved.
kept plugging away, and this to us is a real milestone. That this was here, this was a 30-year-old lawsuit, 28 years in the consent decree. We had another consent decree that was 40 years, and now we're consent decree free. It's a great day. And to our sewer guys, all that work that they've done over the years to get us here, man, our hats off to you.
In finance, did a good job. We have, when we inherited a mess, we were embarrassed and ashamed of what the county had turned into and become. And we worked diligently from that point on to make sure that we are where we are today. And you have our word that we will continue to act as good stewards and do what we can for the citizens. Yeah, Mark, you got anything?
I just want to thank the budget department, all the directors for working hard on the budget, Commissioner Knight, Commissioner Stevens, all the commissioners. This is the second year in a row we've completed paving over 100 miles, which is 10% of the whole network. This budget approves another $35 million in the roads capital, which leverages about $60 more million in federal highway money. So thank you all for continuing to invest in the infrastructure. Thank David Denner, Daniel White specifically. Their plans and engineering on the capital program for ESD is one of the reasons, and working with Theo to be able to get out. They did smart projects at good prices to help us get out of that. But really thankful for all the directors and for you investing in us and in the infrastructure of the county. Thank you.
And we got the animal shelter going, getting ready to launch, which is.
Animal shelters going.
Coroner's office. We're gonna be moving Cooper Green over to the new facility at the end of this year. We've come a long way, folks, we have. So proud of us, proud of our team, proud of our employees. Thank you very much. And Jefferson County's in pretty good shape. Now, if the economy will just cooperate.
We will have a groundbreaking for y'all for the animal control once the Greater Birmingham Humane Society gets their plans kind of
They
tied
almost
down,
ready.
because it's going to be a mess trying to do.
They almost ready. Just about.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Adam Sawaski and French McMillan on our team.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
French worked hard.
And I want to echo what they've all said. As a former member of the judicial branch of government, I think you guys and girls did a really good job on this consent decree. Proud of you. Thanks for what you did.
Thank Heather and them for coming out. Y'all had to come out, what, about 6 or 7 times about the animal control and the coroner's office for their community.
Right.
Really, it was a lot. Don't think it was just approved off the bat. They was out there at least 6 times. It's, 7 o'clock at night. We didn't leave at 8:30, 9 o'clock. 6 times, y'all put that on, y'all gave me that at the last minute and had them folks all pissed off over there in Oxmoor. They was really upset. Couldn't get in the building, there was so many of them. But we got it passed.
They're okay now?
Yeah, they okay now, because they came. Heather and them came out and explained it more to them in detail. They really basically didn't understand it. They thought it was gonna be burning dogs, and it was just, I don't know where they got that from. But she was really, really good. Her whole team came out all 6 times.
That's why they do it. So,
Yeah.
good job.
Meeting's adjourned.
Jimmy, y'all gonna watch the WWF tonight? Oh, yeah.